abandoned asylums, places where the past clings to the walls, and the whispers of the forgotten echo through decaying halls. Join me as we uncover the three most chilling true stories of these haunted locations. From ghostly apparitions to sinister pasts, these tales will leave you with goosebumps. But first, let me ask, do you believe in the supernatural? If so, you're in for a ride. If not, this might just change your mind. There's something undeniably eerie about abandoned asylums. These were places of pain, suffering, and often cruelty, where people were sent to heal, but many never left. From the rusting medical tools left behind to the peeling paint of their endless corridors, these buildings seem to hold on to their stories and their souls. Today we're exploring three such asylums, their chilling histories, and the hauntings that make them unforgettable. Grab a blanket, turn off the lights, and let's dive into the world of abandoned asylums. Why do asylums captivate our imaginations? Perhaps it's their tragic histories, tales of neglect, overcrowding, and inhumane treatments that turned them into houses of horror. Or maybe it's the paranormal phenomena that people continue to experience there, long after they've been abandoned. Whatever the reason, these places refuse to fade into obscurity. Instead, they draw us closer, daring us to uncover their secrets. But not everyone who visits leaves unchanged. Some claim they've seen things that defy explanation. Others are too terrified to ever go back. Let's see if you'd be brave enough to walk these halls after hearing their stories. Let's start with one of the most infamous asylums in the world, the Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum in West Virginia. Built in the mid-1800s, this massive Gothic structure was meant to house just 250 patients. But at its peak, over 2,400 people were crammed into its overcrowded halls. The result? Chaos, suffering, and untold horror. The treatments here were barbaric. Lobotomies performed with ice picks, electroshock therapy delivered without anesthesia, and experimental surgeries that often left patients worse off than when they arrived. The walls of this asylum saw more than just mental illness. They witnessed despair, anger, and ultimately, death. One of the most chilling reports comes from the ghostly apparition of a nurse, often seen near the staircase where she was murdered by a patient. Visitors describe her figure as pale and sorrowful, silently walking the halls as if still tending to her duties. Others have heard disembodied voices calling their names or felt sudden icy chills when walking through certain rooms. But that's not all. There's the story of George. George was a patient subjected to one of the asylum's notorious lobotomies, leaving him in a vegetative state. His spirit is said to linger in the old medical wing, his anguished cries echoing through the night. One visitor described seeing a shadowy figure standing in a doorway, unmoving, as though waiting for something or someone. Was it George, or just a trick of the mind? I'll let you decide. Our next stop takes us to the Waverly Hills Sanatorium in Kentucky. Though technically a tuberculosis hospital, its dark reputation places it firmly on this list. During the early 20th century, tuberculosis ravaged the population, and Waverly Hills became a place of last resort. Over 63,000 people are estimated to have died here, and their spirits seem to have never left. The death tunnel is perhaps the sanatorium's most infamous feature. This 500-foot chute was used to discreetly transport bodies out of the hospital, sparing other patients from witnessing the mounting death toll. But today, it's a hotspot for paranormal activity. Ghost hunters and thrill seekers report hearing screams and footsteps echoing through the tunnel, even when no one else is around. One of the most chilling stories is that of room 502. Legend has it that a nurse hanged herself there after discovering she was pregnant out of wedlock, a scandalous situation at the time. Her spirit is said to appear in the room, and many visitors report an overwhelming sense of sadness upon entering. Some even claim to hear a woman sobbing faintly in the distance. What makes these places so unforgettable? Is it their tragic pasts, or the lingering energy of those who once lived and died within their walls? From the tortured spirits of Trans-Allegheny to the restless souls of Waverly Hills, abandoned asylums remind us that some places never let go of their history. And while skeptics might dismiss these tales as mere folklore, the countless reports of strange occurrences make us wonder, what if there's more to these stories than meets the eye? After all, these buildings stood witness to unimaginable pain and suffering. Perhaps the walls themselves remember. But what do you think? Are these stories enough to send chills down your spine? Or do you have your own theories about what haunts these places? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you've ever visited an abandoned asylum or experienced something paranormal, share your story. If you're hungry for more terrifying tales, don't forget to check out my next video, where we'll uncover the chilling secrets of the world's creepiest abandoned prisons. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss it. Thanks for watching, and remember, some places are better left in the dark.